Chosen one, the bank will shock you soon. Prepare for it. Something powerful is already unfolding in the background of your life. You may not have received the notification yet, you may not have seen the paperwork, and your bank app might still show a balance that seems unchanged. But make no mistake, there is an irreversible shift in motion, and it's heading straight into your account. The systems of this world are about to bend to something higher. You were never just living for coins and currency. You were positioned for supernatural funding, and that divine deposit is scheduled to appear exactly on time. Something that has been circulating in the unseen realm is being transferred into the seen. That means what once felt like a prayer or a hope, something invisible, something fragile, is now crystallizing into undeniable proof. Chosen one, this isn't a false alarm. You're not imagining things. That restlessness in your spirit, that sense that something massive is approaching, that's because it is. You're being prompted to prepare your mindset, your emotions, your energy, and your soul for a moment that will look like a shock to the world, but it will feel like confirmation to you. Watch this video until the end, and in the comments, write your warmest wishes and write Amen, along with the number 777. It's in this moment of agreement that the energy begins to rise. Your wishes are heard, your voice is felt, and the universe responds. What you speak now energizes the release that's already on its way. Now, chosen one, press the hype button and like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. This is not just about a bank transfer or an alert on your screen. This is about the fulfillment of what God promised you when everything seemed like it was on hold. Remember those silent nights where you asked, "When is it going to be my turn?" Well, this is the moment the answer begins to take form. The silence wasn't punishment. It was alignment. God was rerouting what had your name on it through paths that no enemy could block, through accounts that were never listed in your contact list, through names and systems you never even knew existed. The delay was not denial. It was divine timing, orchestrated so your receipt would come when you were strongest, not when you were most desperate. There are conversations happening in private rooms right now, decisions being made, codes being entered, approvals being finalized, and your name is on it. This bank, this institution you may not have even interacted with recently, is about to send you a signal. But it won't just be a message from them. It'll be a message from God, a notification that confirms you didn't imagine your calling. You didn't dream too big. You didn't pray for too much. What you asked for was already on its way. The path was just hidden. But God doesn't need a visible road to move what belongs to you. He only needs permission, and you gave him that with your endurance, with your belief, and with your refusal to give up. You were being refined for this moment. Every time you opened your banking app and felt that wave of frustration, that wasn't just disappointment, it was preparation. It was God conditioning you to break the emotional tie between your worth and your wallet. Because now, when the overflow hits, you won't lose yourself in the number. You'll know the source. You'll recognize that what's coming through the bank is not from the bank. It's from God, funneled through their system, but birthed in heaven. Get ready, because there will be people who won't understand how you went from barely surviving to overflowing. They won't know about the prayers you whispered when no one was listening. They won't see the nights you stayed up, just holding on to a word you believed came from God. They'll think it was sudden, random, maybe even unfair. But you will know. You'll know this was no accident. This was evidence. Evidence that God honors those who trust Him beyond reason. Evidence that heaven always had your back, even when your inbox didn't. There is a very real shift occurring in your financial world. You're not just hoping anymore, you're being prepared. You're being given eyes to see what others can't see, and ears to hear the confirmation before the world catches up. Don't miss this moment. Don't shrink back. This isn't a glitch or an error. This is divine strategy. This isn't about fraud. It's about favor. And when the systems of this world get the signal to move, they will move quickly, decisively, and without warning. That's why you've been feeling the urgency. That's why you've been sensing something close, yet unseen. God isn't just sending money. He's sending messages. Through numbers, through approvals, through unexplainable updates, through forgotten accounts suddenly activated. You might find yourself logging in just to check a balance, only to discover that the balance doesn't match what you last saw. That's not confusion, that's confirmation. That's not a mistake. That's a miracle. Because when it happens, you won't just see numbers, you'll see God. You'll remember this message. You'll remember that you were told in advance, that you were urged to prepare, not panic. Your preparation now is sacred. Every action you take from here, every thought, every declaration, every intention sends a ripple through the atmosphere. You're not responding to lack anymore. You're responding to abundance. You're not moving out of fear. You are moving out of alignment. The bank is not your source. God is. But the bank is about to be your proof. And that proof will be so undeniable, so sudden, and so divine that the only response left will be awe. And when the moment comes, and it will, you won't scramble. You won't question. You'll know. You'll know that this was written, sealed, and destined for you before the beginning. And you'll know what to do. Because God never releases the resource without releasing the clarity. When the bank shocks you, it won't throw you off. It'll lock you in. Lock you into a new level, a new mindset, a new assignment, a new rhythm. The season of waiting has completed its course. The cycle is breaking. And you're not walking into a surprise. You're walking into a promise. You've been hearing the whispers in your spirit for weeks now, maybe even months. And although nothing around you has yet confirmed the magnitude of what you feel, your inner world has already been adjusting to something greater. You've started seeing small signs, small glimmers, numbers repeating, random thoughts of accounts you forgot, an urge to check something again even after you've already checked it. That's not anxiety. That's the divine pulse of something ancient, waking up within your story. God has authorized something that's been sitting on hold. The financial realm is catching up with the spiritual decree. Chosen one, what's about to happen will not just increase your balance, it will rewrite your history. It will adjust the timeline of your family's story. This is why the bank is being used as the vehicle. This is why the name of the sender won't always make sense to those around you. Because God doesn't need conventional channels when He's delivering something extraordinary. The shock will not come from the amount alone. It will come from the speed, the accuracy, the divine timing, the placement, the message that's encoded within it. That's why you've been kept low for a season. That's why your past victories felt invisible to those around you. It was all about creating space in your soul to receive what's larger than logic. You couldn't have received this before because your mind would have tried to control it. But now you're ready. Now your vision is clear enough to see beyond numbers. Your faith is mature enough to see beyond digits and decimal points. You're not going to be owned by what you receive. You're going to steward it. God doesn't want you confused when the release comes. He doesn't want you shrinking when others question you. He wants you anchored, rooted, focused. Because when that bank notification appears, it will come with a ripple, a wave of changes in motion. There will be people who reach out you haven't heard from in years. Institutions that once rejected you may suddenly offer you opportunity. But none of that will matter if you forget what this is really about. It's not just money. It's movement. It's a divine marker of fulfillment, not status. And you're not receiving this because you begged loud enough or hustled harder. You're receiving it because the time matched the calling. The maturity met the miracle. The patience collided with purpose. You didn't manipulate anything. You aligned with something greater. And now, the same banks that once ignored your name are about to echo it in systems you never knew had your file. The updates are not just monetary, they're spiritual, emotional, prophetic. Get ready for unexpected deposits, some with explanations, some with none. Get ready for pauses in transaction logs that later burst open like a floodgate. Get ready for paperwork being expedited in your favor. You will not have to fight to prove that this was meant for you. The proof will carry its own identity. It will walk into your life with the kind of peace that money alone cannot buy. That's how you'll know it came from God. And when others see the outcome, they may try to reduce it to luck, or timing, or strategy. Let them. You don't have to defend what was always yours. Your silence will echo louder than your defense. Your consistency will validate what was spoken over you in secret. Because when God chooses to shock the world through your bank, He doesn't need anyone's approval. He just needs your awareness, your posture, your readiness. This is why you've been feeling that holy pressure, that quiet expectation, not fear, but fire. Because you know this is a new chapter, and new chapters demand new agreements. You're not partnering with doubt anymore. You're not subscribing to scarcity anymore. You're not staying up trying to figure it all out. You're walking in agreement with the flow of God's will. And where God is flowing, money obeys. The energy is shifting. The currency is responding. The command has already been sent. The codes are being entered. The alerts are forming. You don't need to chase this. It's chasing you. The only thing that's being asked of you now is readiness, not perfection, not a plan, just readiness. Because when the system lights up your name, it won't ask if you feel worthy. It will just execute the divine instruction. This is a moment where you will realize you were never waiting on the bank. God was waiting on you to become who you now are. And now that you've arrived at this version of yourself, bold, faithful, quiet in power, steady in spirit, the floodgates are being authorized. Expect overflow. Expect it to reach you before you even tell anyone it's coming. You're not in a guessing game. You're in a confirmed miracle. And when that alert lights up your screen, you will know this is what divine fulfillment feels like. Quiet, mighty, clear. God did it, and no one will be able to undo it. What's remarkable about the moment you're entering is that it will not ask for validation before it happens. It won't knock politely. It won't ask if you're sitting down. It will just arrive. Swiftly, suddenly, unapologetically. 1 minute, you'll be going about your day as usual, thinking it's just another cycle of routine, and then the alert will come. A notification, a message, a change so pronounced you'll feel your body pause. Because this won't be a symbolic shift. This will be a material manifestation, and it will have God's fingerprints all over it. You've come too far to think this is coincidence. The way everything's been aligning, how you've been feeling led to release certain old habits, certain relationships, certain patterns, was all a form of divine decluttering. It wasn't just about preparing your schedule. It was about preparing your atmosphere. God's about to introduce something weighty into your space, and He couldn't do it while you were still entangled with what was trying to dim your power. The withdrawal from certain places wasn't rejection. It was repositioning. And now the current is strong. Now the flow is near. This isn't about potential anymore. It's about proximity. The wealth transfer isn't theoretical. It's tangible. And your name is on a release that's going to look like the bank made a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake at all. It was the result of divine orchestration. This is how God works. While people are sleeping, He's shifting documents. While systems think they're doing business as usual, heaven injects favor into protocol. Chosen one, you are walking with a signature on you, a mark that tells the universe you are cleared for abundance. And that mark is not seen by human eyes, but it is recognized by every energetic system that moves in obedience to divine law. That means the accounts are responding to your presence. The agents behind the scenes are moving quicker when your name comes up. The red tape that would have blocked someone else's process is being dissolved before it can delay you. Don't be surprised if someone calls you soon and says, "This is unusual, but you've been approved." Don't be shocked if a backlogged process skips ahead and places you at the front. You didn't ask for special treatment, but you received divine appointment. The bank is going to send the message, yes, but the message is just the evidence. The decision happened in a higher place long before you ever got the confirmation. And as this wave rolls toward you, it's carrying more than money. It's carrying relief, restoration, recalibration. It's carrying the power to cancel out debts, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. What once weighed heavily on your shoulders will suddenly lose its grip, not because you fought it off, but because it got swallowed in the blessing. You're not going to have to calculate how to move things around to make it all work. You're going to receive more than enough, and that surplus is going to heal you in places where words failed. There will be a calm in your chest after it happens, a stillness that speaks louder than any celebration. It won't be about flaunting it. It won't be about proving anything. You won't even need to say much. The glow will say it for you. People will notice you haven't been moving the same. They'll see the peace in your eyes. They'll feel the weight that's lifted from your presence. And they'll wonder, but they won't understand. And they're not supposed to. Because when God does something this big, He doesn't do it for applause. He does it for alignment. This isn't a gift to boast with. It's a mantle to carry. And you've been selected for this moment not just because you prayed, but because you endured. You stayed faithful in the silence. You stayed consistent in the absence of evidence. You didn't quit when things got invisible. And now, visibility is coming. Visitation is coming. Verification is coming. So don't be thrown off by the quiet before the signal. Don't interpret the stillness as inactivity. God is not late. He's precise. And that precision is why you'll look back and realize If this had come any earlier, you wouldn't have been ready. But now you're built for it. Now you'll recognize the blessing without attaching your identity to it. Now you can receive it and remain you, just upgraded, elevated, equipped. The bank will release it, but the heavens already did. And when it happens, remember, you didn't just receive money. You received evidence. You received the manifestation of every unseen yes, every delayed not yet, every closed door that made room for this one to open. You received the echo of God saying, "Now, it's time." There's a divine rhythm unfolding now, and you're standing in the very beat of it. Every moment feels different, not because something loud is happening outside you, but because something permanent has shifted within you. You're no longer carrying the weight of uncertainty. You're not begging God for signs. You're walking as if you've already seen them. That's how powerful this transformation is. You are no longer dependent on outward validation. You are aligned with inward knowing, and that alignment has become a signal, one that heaven recognizes and responds to. Chosen one, the moment this transfer is released, it will shock systems. It will puzzle the observers. And yet, for you, it will feel natural, familiar even, like something you always knew was coming but didn't know when. That's how divine timing works. It always feels sudden to the world, but it feels like alignment to the one who carried the vision. You've been carrying this for longer than you realize. The knowing, the expectation, the inner conversation you kept having with yourself, even when others thought you were chasing fantasy. You weren't. You were following instruction. You were trusting God's movement, even when nothing moved. That's why what's about to appear is so much bigger than what your hands could have built. This isn't about strategy. This is about sovereignty. The alert you're about to receive, whether by message, notification, email, or spoken word, is a direct echo from the throne room of God.